we should talk about right now because it's relevant to this conversation is Scott Adams' point, which is also your point, Adam, that teaching this idea of systemic racism is a form of child abuse.
Yeah, I love
because
that.
basically you're just teaching a child that the world is out to get you. The system is out to stomp on you. Okay. And if you keep teaching a child this, if you keep telling them that they can't succeed in life, they're not going to try. They're not going to want to succeed. And that's another piece of the puzzle here. That's really part of it is the wokeness, and part of it is the hundreds of years of racism that has been shoved down the throats of Black Americans. It's just it's just this idea that's like, why bother trying if I know that I'm fucked?
Yeah, that's a smart calculus to make. Like, don't try is the smart thing to do.
Exactly. You know, and this was an interesting thing that came up like in the movie The Godfather, was that you see a lot of the Italian immigrants, the reason they turn to the mafia is because the system isn't working for them. The police aren't coming into their area. They can't get good jobs because they're new immigrants. So what do? They turn to other sources of revenue, other sources of power. It was the same thing in Goodfellas. You know, Ray Liotta's character is like, oh, my father was a fucking idiot because he tried to participate in the system and he wasn't rewarded by it. And I'd see all these people would respect the thugs and the mafia people. It's the same thing.
Totally.
It's the same thing.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie Menace to Society?
No.
Menace to Society is about Black kids in Watts. It's a great movie, and it's done in the exact same cinematic style as Goodfellas, which makes it even cooler because it is. They're like they're exactly the same motivations. Yeah.
Well, and that's what's so frustrating with these idiots like Robin DiAngelo, when it's like, this isn't like it's a race issue, but on a deeper level, this is just standard human psychology playing out due to all the environmental factors and causes that have shaped it. Okay. It's not this magic evil white people thing going on that she wants it. And the problem is, if you don't understand what creates the problem, then you're not going to be able to fix it.
Yeah.
And
this is really dark, but I'm going to go there anyway. Like, how much do you think is just like her crowd who has, every opportunity in the world given to them? They just have, they're the ones with the white guilt. Like, I don't have any white guilt because I feel like I've fought for every opportunity I've gotten. Like, if you're just handed opportunities right and left, you're going to have major guilt. And this is a lot easier way to just pay pittance and to actually do anything that's actually going to help anyone.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. There's a reason why a lot of this is generally wealthy people that come from good families, because they're people that were born with left or what we consider left or liberal moral intuitions. So they do feel guilty about the unfairness that is inherent in our society and in the world and in reality itself. And so, fixing these problems, part of being an enlightened centrist is realizing the sheer weight and difficulty of fixing all these societal problems. It's interesting to think about the fact that, like, when you look at like the coronavirus, we still don't really understand what causes the coronavirus. We don't know exactly how it works. We don't even know if it was really from nature, if it was created in a lab. There's so many unanswered questions in it about the coronavirus. And yet, at the same time, human psychology is 1,000,000 times more complicated than the coronavirus will ever be.
Oh, hell.
And that's the problem with this shit. Human psychology is so complicated. Society is so complicated. There's so many different factors playing into all this that it's like, it's just overwhelming for someone to think about. Okay. And the sheer weight of it and trying to figure out how to fix this. It's like this fucking Sisyphean task of pushing the boulder up the hill forever, because you never know if you're going to get there. So instead of just acknowledging that and trying the best you can to figure out all the solutions to all the problems you can identify and really dive into the data and divorce yourself from your fucking gut intuitions and your emotions, it's just easier to just say, I feel guilty and it makes me feel better emotionally to just self-flagellate myself and say, white people bad. We just need anti-racism training and just throw money. We used to throw money at me and at the problem and it'll just magically disappear.
Yeah. I read Bob Iger's book. He's a I don't know if he's still the CEO or the former CEO of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a huge SJW. You could tell reading the book that he's just like gigantic SJW. And when I immediately was thinking of the whole concept of white privilege as I'm reading this book, because the guy, like, I could see how someone from his perspective would feel what white privilege is. Because like this guy literally, like he would be going into a job interview to like, or going into his boss at work to like quit. And they'd be like, no, you can't quit because we're giving you the huge promotion. We're making you like the head of the whole division. So it's like all of these opportunities in life were literally just thrown at him. He didn't work for any of them. Like everything he did was just, I mean, if he was a protagonist in a movie, you'd be like, this is the worst fucking movie ever. Like this guy just walks into a room and wins.
This Mary Sue motherfucker over here.
But you can't look at Bob Iger and say, he's the avatar for white people. This is what happens with every white person.
I know.
No, fuck no. Like, no, that's not how life works. Most people struggle. Like, and pinning it to their skin color, I mean, it's just flat out racist. It's completely racist.
And and the only way we're going to get past this, the only way we're going to get through this is to just try to do away with the concept.
Yeah.
To try to unite around, common humanity. That's the only way we're going to get past this.